guys, Tally here, and I'm really excited to show you guys today all of the cool ways that I found to use kerbs, these kerbs right here. When these came out, I saw a lot of confusion in forums and discords and such of people not really knowing how these guys were useful, right? The barriers, the path barriers are very obviously useful. They prevent guests from going through them at all. But these, as you may know, these only discourage guests from going through them. But guests can still pass over these. So let's jump right in, and I'm going to show you guys some of the ways that you can use these to great effect. Okay, we're going to start with the very most obvious one. The one that everyone kind of jumped to, which is, of course, to stop them from going to your staff areas. Now, to do this, you have to make sure of one thing. You have to make sure that there's nothing at the end of this path that will entice a guest over to the end of it, right? You have to make sure that there's no habitat, there's no viewing point anywhere along here, there's nothing there that will encourage them to go this way. That is how you use this with staff paths. If there's anything over there that will entice guests to go look at it, or if this connects, or if this connected over here, and sometimes they might view it as a shortcut, that also won't work. You can use this for staff paths if there's nothing there for guests. For instance, let's grab an exhibit real quick. We're gonna plunk an exhibit down. Right here, we're gonna grab an exhibit animal, and we're gonna put it right there. And now guests will go through. See, there they go. They want to view the animal. See? So they're going to go past it. So that is how you use this for staff paths. But as I said, that's kind of the obvious one. Let's go into some fun other uses for kerbs. Okay, so check this out, guys. Here is our second use of the kerbs. I want you guys to look at this area right here with the picnic tables. Bonus points if anybody recognizes the zoo that I'm in. You guys have probably encountered this in your own zoos, especially in really busy plazas. Look at the traffic jam that's happening around here. You see all this? People who don't need the picnic tables are crossing through here. And it's not too bad in this one. This zoo isn't too busy, but it's still busy enough for our purposes to show you guys the big difference that kerbs can make. Let's go get our kerbs, and I'm gonna plunk some kerbs down just around the picnic tables. Now, if you guys were doing this for reals, you would probably want to sink them down right beneath the path. I'm gonna keep them up here, just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Really busy plazas can become a big mess really fast. But the kerbs will discourage anyone who doesn't need a picnic table from crossing through this area unless they really need to cross through, right? This is the benefit of kerbs, guys, because if someone really needs to pass through here, they still can. So if they need to get through this area, it's still open. But it will encourage, as we're kind of starting to see already, watch the flow of traffic here now. People are going to try to go around for the most part. See? and it'll help keep this area clear, help keep a traffic jam from happening around your tables, and also help keep sort of the, you know, the illusion of reality, right? You don't have so many people clipping through the tables while others are sitting there, things like that. It looks way better. And it's working like a dream. Most people are going around, anybody who needs the tables can still get in there, and if somebody needs to cross through, they can do that as well. Okay, now let's move on to our next one. Similar to how you can use kerbs to clear the area around picnic tables, you can use it to clear the area around lines. Lines for drink, lines for food, your merch, whatever you've got. So ignoring my rough setup here because this is under construction. So what I have set up here is this area that I want this area down here to be where people traverse, right? This is the thoroughfare over here, and I want this to be relatively clear so people can get into these lines that need them, right? But the guests are coming through this way, and I need them to not do that. So here's my kerbs. I actually already had them placed. I'm gonna lower them down now to see the difference. And now, what we will see is far, far fewer people will walk over here in front of my food and merch lines. More people are going to come this way. See, here they come. And again, anybody who still needs to get into these lines can come get into these lines because it's, you know, it's the kerbs. They don't prevent guests from going through, they just discourage it for ones who don't need it. Now the others are coming this way. So you can use these kerbs to clear the area in front of your lines to keep things moving, keep the flow going where you need it to go. Next up, you can use kerbs to help encourage the use of your main thoroughfares, like right here, as opposed to, say, using these areas as main traversal points, right? You want to have these available for anybody who needs to see the animals, or, you know, in case somebody does need to move this way to get to somewhere, but you really want them to move more so along your main thoroughfare area, and you can use kerbs to help discourage them from going into these areas unless they really need to be there or unless they really need to move that way. So see, all these people over here, previously they were all using these narrower spots to get through, but now with the kerbs here, they're more encouraged to move this way. And I did find also that using these kind of wedge or diagonal shapes like this, see those, is extra helpful for really troublesome spots where you really kind of need to funnel the guests into your main path area to get them moving where they need to go. Okay, so this next one is really specific, but I'm so grateful to have the kerbs for this usage. You can use the kerbs to, see, there they go, they're leaving. You can use the kerbs to discourage people to go up your exit ramps leading from your transport rides. See, here's my planned exit ramp for this, right? And I would have people just wander over here. So you can use the kerbs to make this kind of a one-way path. Like, we don't have real one-way paths, but you can use, there they go, see, yes, denied. You can use the kerbs to kind of simulate that. So now I don't have people just wandering up my exit ramps for my rides. So that's another way you can use them. And then finally, last but not least, if you have an animal talk area that is also still in a place where people are still going to be walking through, you can use the kerbs, see how these guys went around? Use the kerbs to create a little comfort zone around the animal talk area so that other guests aren't just strolling right on through. See how they go around? Like that. Looks much nicer, is more realistic. And there you go, there's some kerb uses, guys. I hope this encourages you to try out the kerbs in different ways and see how neat they are and see how good they are for helping to control the traffic in your zoo. Me, I really love that aspect of them. I like ensuring that the guests are moving in the right way, in the way that I want them to go, using the paths as intended. If you think of any more uses for the kerbs, definitely leave me a comment because I'm always looking for different ways to utilize them. Okay, thanks guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye!